The TCS Defiant cut through the obsidian darkness of the Sigma borderlands like a phantom, its hull absorbing and redistributing electromagnetic radiation with such efficiency that it was virtually invisible to conventional detection systems. Captain Elena Rodriguez sat in her command chair, more machine than flesh, her cybernetic eye casting a faint blue glow across the bridge's muted titanium interior. Around her, the bridge crew moved with a synchronicity that defied traditional military training. Lieutenant Kai Chen at navigation, his fingers dancing across holographic interfaces that seemed to anticipate his movements. Commander Sarah Okoye at tactical systems, her neural implants creating this symbiotic link between human intuition and quantum computational precision. They weren't just a crew. They were a single living organism of technological warfare. The Defiant was no ordinary patrol vessel. Beneath its seemingly standard exterior lurked technologies that would make most galactic civilizations weep with technological envy. Experimental quantum cascade generators hummed quietly in the ship's core, a testament to humanity's most classified research programs. Every system was a carefully designed deception, appearing mundane to the casual observer, but containing layers of complexity that would revolutionize warfare. Anomalous quantum fold detection, Lieutenant Chen announced, his voice calm but carrying an undercurrent of electric tension. Signature matches preliminary Krell-Shari long-range scout configuration. Rodriguez's cybernetic eye flickered, running computational scenarios faster than any biological brain could process. The Krell-Shari, a civilization that had conquered hundreds of species, whose technological superiority was considered absolute by most of the galactic community, and they were entering human-controlled space. Tactical assessment, she commanded, her voice a controlled steel blade. Commander Okoye's fingers blurred across her console. Holographic displays erupted around the bridge, showing potential engagement scenarios, weapon configurations, and predictive threat matrices. Multiple contact points detected. 3 scout vessels, each carrying enough firepower to glass a medium-sized colony. Quantum signatures indicate advanced dimensional folding capabilities. To an outside observer, the bridge would have seemed impossibly calm. No raised voices, no panic, just a machine-like precision of human and technological integration. Rodriguez knew this moment was more than just a potential combat scenario. It was a carefully orchestrated message, years in the planning. Humanity had spent decades cultivating an image of technological mediocrity, carefully sandbagging their true capabilities. Every research project, every seemingly limited technological advancement, had been part of a grand, patient strategy. The first Krell-Shari scout ships began to materialize at the edge of the Defiant's sensor range. Quantum fold technology that could bypass traditional faster-than-light limitations, a technology so advanced it was considered almost mystical by most galactic species. They had no idea what was coming. Weapon systems, Rodriguez called, her voice cutting through the bridge's ambient hum. Initialize resonance mode. Full quantum cascade preparation. The Defiant seemed to take a breath. Not a mechanical preparation, but something more. A living system about to unleash something beyond conventional understanding. Lieutenant Chen's voice carried a hint of anticipation. Krell-Shari communication channel opening. Standard invasion protocol transmission. Rodriguez's cybernetic eye captured every microsecond of data. The alien transmission would be a standard ultimatum. Surrender, submit, become another conquered civilization in the Krell-Shari's expansive imperial records. They would be the first to discover that humanity was not what they seemed. The scout ships completed their quantum fold, emerging with the arrogance of a species that had never known true resistance. Sleek vessels of impossible geometric precision, weapons charged and ready to begin another routine subjugation. Captain Elena Rodriguez allowed herself the smallest of smiles, a smile that would have terrified the Krell-Shari commanders had they seen it. Tactical, she whispered. Engage. The Defiant hummed, not with fear, but with anticipation. The first dance was about to begin, and humanity was ready to show the galaxy exactly what they had been hiding. Nothing would ever be the same again. The Krell-Jerry communication channel erupted with a cacophony of alien frequencies, a standard invasion protocol that had subjugated countless civilizations. Their transmission was a mathematical formula of domination. Precise, cold, utterly certain of its outcome. "Attention human vessel," the alien communication translated, each word dripping with millennia of imperial conquest. "You are ordered to power down your systems and prepare for immediate integration into the Krell-Jerry Imperium. Resistance is mathematically improbable. Surrender is your only logical course of action." On the bridge of the TCS Defiant, Captain Elena Rodriguez didn't move a muscle. Her cybernetic eye processed the transmission, running it through layers of linguistic and tactical analysis that would have taken conventional supercomputers weeks to decode. Commander Sarah Okoy's hands danced across her tactical console. Quantum cascade weapon systems at maximum resonance. Targeting solutions are beautiful. The word caught Rodriguez by surprise. But then, beauty was often found in perfect mathematical precision. The Defiance weapon was nothing like conventional military technology. It wasn't a simple energy projection or a missile system. It was a quantum-level disruption mechanism that targeted the fundamental structural integrity of matter itself. Each shot was a symphony of quantum mechanics, a mathematical equation that unraveled molecular bonds with surgical precision. The first volley struck the lead Krell-Jerry scout ship. To an outside observer, it would have seemed instantaneous. One moment, the alien vessel existed, a marvel of technological engineering that had conquered hundreds of civilizations. The next moment, it simply ceased to exist. Not destroyed, not exploded, simply unmade. Quantum cascade technology didn't just destroy. It deconstructed matter at its most fundamental level, converting complex molecular structures into pure energy with zero residual damage to surrounding space. The second and third Krell-Jerry ships barely had time to register what had happened. Their advanced sensor systems, capable of tracking quantum-level events across light years, simply could not comprehend the magnitude of the technological asymmetry they were facing. Another mathematical equation. Another perfect deconstruction. Lieutenant Kai Chen's voice was clinical, almost dispassionate. 3 Krell-Jerry scout vessels neutralized. Total engagement time: 2.3 seconds. Rodriguez knew this was more than a battle. This was a message. The surviving fragments of Krell-Jerry communication systems broadcast their final, terrified data streams. Fragments of panic, of incomprehension. How could a species they had categorized as a potential future conquest demonstrate such overwhelming technological superiority? "Tactical," Rodriguez said quietly. "Prepare full sensor logs for transmission to Terran Command." This encounter would change everything. The Defiant's quantum engines pulsed, a quiet heartbeat of technological might. Humanity had been waiting, watching, preparing. And now, the galaxy would know. Deep beneath the surface of Luna Prime, the most secure research facility in human space hummed with activity that would never appear in any official record. Dr. Marcus Chen stood before a wall of quantum-entangled communication relays, his fingers tracing holographic data streams that danced with impossible complexity. The encounter between the TCS Defiant and the Krell-Jerry scouts was more than a mere skirmish. It was the culmination of the Terran Stealth Technological Advancement Program, a multi-generational strategy of deliberate technological sandbagging that had lasted over a century. "Transmission analysis complete," announced Dr. Aria Nakamura, her neural interface flickering with cascading data patterns. "Alien intelligence services are parsing the sensor logs exactly as we predicted." Chen allowed himself a rare smile. Each piece of technological information they'd released over the decades was a carefully crafted illusion. Humanity had systematically presented itself as a mid-tier technological civilization, capable but not exceptional, advanced but not threatening. The truth was infinitely more complex. Every research project, every seemingly limited technological breakthrough, had been meticulously designed. Quantum cascade weapons, just the tip of a technological iceberg that would shatter galactic expectations. The neural interfaces that allowed perfect human-machine symbiosis, a fraction of what humanity was truly capable of achieving. The quantum communication relays began to light up. Intercepted transmissions from dozens of alien civilizations painted a picture of confusion and growing concern. The Krell-Cherry's invasion scouts had been utterly annihilated by a species they had considered a potential future conquest. Galactic concordance communication channels are lighting up, Dr. Nakamura continued. Preliminary analysis shows maximum information dispersion, exactly as planned. Each transmission was a thread in a larger tapestry. The Terran Confederation hadn't just defended itself, it had stage-managed a perfect demonstration of technological might, calibrated to send a specific message to the galaxy. We are not what you think we are. In orbital research stations and deep space listening posts, teams of human researchers watched the galactic information networks with clinical precision. This was more than a military encounter. This was psychological warfare conducted at a level no other civilization could comprehend. Dr. Chen reviewed the holographic displays. Decades of preparation, of strategic misdirection, of carefully controlled technological revelation, all converging in this single moment. Humanity had been playing a game of technological chess, while other civilizations thought they were playing checkers. The quantum relays captured fragments of alien communications. Panic, confusion, disbelief. The Krell-Cherry military communication networks were in complete disarray. Their scout ships, technological marvels that had conquered hundreds of civilizations, had been reduced to quantum-level dispersal in mere seconds. No weapon in known galactic technology could achieve such total and complete deconstruction. Initiate Phase 2, Chen commanded. Across human-controlled space, dormant technological systems began to subtly activate. Quantum communication nodes that had been deliberately kept offline. Advanced research projects that existed only in the most classified databases. A network of technological potential that had been waiting, patient and silent. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity was not just another species to be conquered. They were a sleeping giant, finally beginning to wake up. Dr. Nakamura's voice cut through Chen's contemplation. Incoming transmission from Captain Rodriguez. Full sensor logs from the Defiant have been transmitted and verified. Chen nodded. Every piece was moving exactly as planned. The first move had been made, and the galaxy would never be the same again. Humanity had been preparing for this moment for generations, and now, the real game was about to begin. The Krell-Cherry invasion fleet emerged from quantum space like a plague of metallic locusts. 10,000 warships, each capable of glassing entire planetary surfaces, materialized with the arrogance of a civilization that had never known true resistance. Admiral Vexnar, commander of the Krell-Cherry Imperial Armada, studied the holographic displays with cold calculation. Humanity would be another footnote in the Imperium's endless conquest. Their recent encounter with a single human vessel was an anomaly, nothing more. Initiate standard planetary subjugation protocol, he commanded, his four-dimensional neural interface already calculating occupation strategies. They had no idea what was coming. The first wave of Krell-Cherry ships approached the outer defensive perimeter of the Terran Confederation. Standard reconnaissance indicated a scattered, seemingly unprepared defensive formation. Conventional tactical analysis suggested total conquest within hours. What happened next would be recorded in galactic military archives as the most one-sided engagement in known history. Terran fleets that appeared scattered revealed themselves as a single thinking entity. AI-assisted tactical coordination transformed individual ships into a living, adaptive network that defied every known principle of warfare. Where the Krell-Cherry expected weakness, they found a technological hurricane of unimaginable fury. Ships phased through weapon strikes as if they were made of light, energy redirected with impossible speed. Entire battle groups disappeared in cascading quantum disruptions that violated fundamental laws of physics. The human fleet moved like a single organism, each vessel an interconnected neural node in a vast thinking system. Weapon systems that shouldn't exist transformed Krelchari battleships into expanding clouds of quantum-dispersed matter. Admiral Vexnar watched in growing horror as his invasion fleet was systematically dismantled. His most advanced sensor systems couldn't even comprehend the technological asymmetry they were facing. Targeting systems went dark. Communication networks collapsed. Strategic algorithms failed catastrophically. This wasn't just a battle. It was an extinction event. Quantum cascade weapons turned Krelchari ships into mathematical equations, deconstructing them at the molecular level with surgical precision. Defensive systems that had conquered hundreds of civilizations became useless against technologies that operated beyond conventional understanding. Impossible, Vexnar whispered, his four-dimensional consciousness struggling to process the total defeat. Each Terran vessel carried quantum processors that could predict enemy movements milliseconds before they happened. Nano-repair systems didn't just fix damage. They anticipated and prevented it. The ships were alive in a way no conventional military could comprehend. Within hours, the 10,000-ship invasion fleet was reduced to quantum-dispersed fragments. Not destroyed, unmade. The few surviving Krelchari communication systems broadcast fragments of pure terror, mathematical formulas of defeat. A civilization that had never known true resistance was experiencing total, absolute annihilation. Humanity had been waiting, watching, preparing, and now the galaxy would know the true meaning of technological superiority. The research facility on Titan was more than a laboratory. It was the beating heart of humanity's most advanced technological development, a place where the boundaries between human consciousness and machine intelligence blurred into something entirely new. Dr. Elena Volkov stood at the center of the quantum consciousness matrix, her neural interfaces connecting her to systems that defied conventional understanding. Around her, holographic displays showed the full extent of humanity's technological capabilities that had been carefully hidden from the galactic community for generations. Humanity's true technological edge was more than advanced weaponry. It was a complete reimagining of warfare, of intelligence, of existence itself. Each Terran vessel carried quantum processors that functioned less like computers and more like living neural networks. They didn't just calculate. They predicted, they learned, they anticipated with a level of precision that bordered on prescience. The ships were alive in a way no conventional military could comprehend. Quantum entanglement stabilization at 99.999997% announced an AI system that was neither fully artificial nor completely human, a hybrid consciousness that represented the pinnacle of human-machine integration. The technology they had demonstrated against the Krelchari was merely a glimpse, a carefully controlled reveal of capabilities that went far beyond simple weapon systems. Dimensional manipulation, consciousness transfer, predictive warfare algorithms that could simulate entire conflict scenarios in microseconds. Dr. Volkov's neural interface allowed her to see beyond traditional sensory inputs. She could feel the quantum communication networks pulsing across human-controlled space. Each transmission, each data point, was part of a living, breathing technological organism. The nano-repair systems on Terran ships were not just repair mechanisms. They were adaptive intelligence networks that could predict and prevent damage before it occurred. A ship wasn't just a vehicle of war. It was a living, thinking entity that could restructure its own molecular composition in milliseconds. Galactic communication analysis complete, the hybrid AI system reported. Alien civilizations are attempting to comprehend our technological demonstration. Predictive models suggest complete psychological destabilization within 72 standard hours. This was warfare beyond physical conflict. This was a demonstration of technological superiority that would reshape galactic power dynamics. Dimensional engineering technologies that could phase matter through solid objects. Quantum communication networks that could transmit information faster than light. Adaptive AI systems that could learn and evolve faster than biological intelligence could comprehend. Humanity had not just been preparing for conflict. They had been redefining the very nature of technological existence. The machines were awake, and they were fundamentally, terrifyingly human. The Terran Special Operations Team moved like ghosts through the heart of the Krell-Shari Primary Command Station. Major Jacob Rodriguez, distant cousin to Captain Elena Rodriguez, led the infiltration, his quantum adaptive camouflage rendering him virtually undetectable. This wasn't just a military operation. It was a systematic dismantling of an entire Imperial infrastructure. Dimensional manipulation technologies allowed the team to phase through supposedly impenetrable defense systems. Walls became permeable. Security systems became meaningless. The most secure facility in the Krell-Shari Imperium was about to become a tomb of its own technological arrogance. Target acquisition confirmed. Rodriguez subvocalized through quantum-encrypted neural channels, preparing for primary system infiltration. Each member of the team was more machine than human. Neural interfaces that could process information at speeds that would liquefy an unaugmented human brain. Adaptive combat systems that could predict and counter threats before they materialized. Quantum communication networks that made traditional electronic warfare look like children's games. The Krell-Shari Command Center was a marvel of alien technological engineering. Holographic displays showing their vast Imperial network. Communication systems that spanned hundreds of conquered civilizations, a testament to millennia of technological supremacy. They would become a monument to their own obsolescence. Rodriguez's neural interface began the infiltration. Not a simple hacking operation, a complete molecular-level deconstruction of their entire communication and command infrastructure. Quantum algorithms that could unravel complex security systems faster than the Krell-Shari could even comprehend a threat was occurring. Entire communication networks collapsed. Strategic databases became quantum-dispersed information fragments. Military command structures dissolved into pure, meaningless data. This was more than an attack. This was a surgical elimination of an entire civilization's technological capability. Primary systems neutralized, Rodriguez reported. His voice carried no emotion, just clinical precision. Terran Special Operations didn't just destroy. They unmade. They reduced complex technological systems to their most fundamental components, leaving nothing but a quantum-level memory of what once existed. The infiltration took less than 7 minutes. When the Krell-Shari realized what had happened, their entire Imperial infrastructure would already be nothing more than a memory. No physical destruction, no conventional warfare, just a complete, total technological elimination. Humanity's message was clear. We are not to be challenged. As the team phased back to their extraction point, Major Rodriguez allowed himself the smallest of smiles. The counteroffensive had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The Galactic Concordance Chamber was a masterpiece of interspecies diplomatic engineering. Holographic representatives from hundreds of civilizations materialized, their collective technological might dwarfed by the revelation of humanity's true capabilities. Dr. Amara Okoro, Terran chief diplomatic strategist, stood at the center of the chamber. Her presence alone was a statement. Calm, assured, radiating in technological superiority that made even the most advanced alien representatives uncomfortable. The Krell-Shari Imperium has been neutralized, she stated. No emotion, no triumph, just a clinical declaration of fact. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of alien languages, translation systems working overtime to capture the nuanced shock and terror of the moment. Civilizations that had spent millennia believing in their own technological supremacy were now faced with a fundamental reassessment of galactic power dynamics. Every technological advancement, every seemingly random research project humanity had pursued, was now revealed as part of a generations-long strategy of absolute preparedness. The holographic displays began showing detailed analyses of the Terran technological capabilities. Quantum cascade weapon systems that could deconstruct matter at its most fundamental level. Adaptive neural network starships that function more like living organisms than mechanical vessels. Dimensional manipulation technologies that rendered conventional defensive systems completely obsolete. Humanity has demonstrated a level of technological integration that goes beyond traditional military capability, Dr. Okoro continued. We are not conquerors. We are defenders. The subtext was clear. A warning. A promise. Alien diplomatic representatives tried to process the implications. The Krell-Cherry, a civilization that had conquered hundreds of species, had been completely neutralized without a single human casualty. Not through conventional warfare, but through a technological demonstration so advanced it bordered on the supernatural. Quantum communication networks captured the psychological impact in real time. Civilizations were reassessing centuries of strategic planning. Military academies were rewriting tactical doctrines. Entire species were coming to terms with the fact that humanity had been watching, waiting, preparing. Dr. Okoro's neural interface processed thousands of simultaneous communication streams. She could feel the collective psychological shift of the galaxy. Fear, respect, a fundamental understanding that everything had changed. We extend no demands, she said. We require no tribute. We simply exist. It was the most terrifying diplomatic statement in galactic history. The Terran delegation's technological aura filled the chamber. Neural interfaces that could process information at speeds that would liquefy an unaugmented brain. Adaptive systems that could predict and counter threats before they materialized. In the aftermath of the Krell-Cherry elimination, humanity did something unprecedented. They claimed no territory, demanded no tribute, simply existed. The Terran Confederation became a symbol of restrained, absolute power. No formal declarations were made. No grand speeches delivered, just a quiet, terrifying demonstration of technological capability that redefined galactic power dynamics. Captain Alina Rodriguez stood on the observation deck of the orbital command station, watching the holographic displays that tracked galactic communications. The psychological impact of their demonstration was more powerful than any physical conquest could have been. Alien civilizations that had once viewed humanity as a potential future conquest now saw them as something else entirely. A sleeping giant, a technological apex predator that had been waiting, watching, preparing. Dr. Marcus Chen's strategic planning had worked perfectly. Decades of deliberate technological sandbagging, of appearing less advanced than humanity truly was, had culminated in this moment of absolute clarity. The galaxy now understood that humanity was not to be challenged. Neural communication networks captured the subtle shifts in galactic power dynamics. Military academies across hundreds of species were rewriting tactical doctrines. Diplomatic channels buzzed with a new understanding of human capabilities. The Terran Confederation didn't need to make threats. Their very existence was a warning. Quantum communication relays showed the ripple effect. Civilizations that had previously planned expansionist strategies were now drawing back. Those who had considered humanity a potential target were now treating them with a mixture of terror and profound respect. We are defenders, Rodriguez whispered, echoing the core philosophy that had guided humanity's technological development. No other civilization could comprehend the full depth of human technological capabilities. The quantum cascade weapons they had demonstrated were merely the tip of an impossible technological iceberg. Dimensional manipulation technologies, adaptive neural network systems, quantum consciousness integration that blurred the lines between biological and artificial intelligence. In military and diplomatic circles, a new phrase emerged, the Terran Doctrine, a concept of technological restraint coupled with absolute, overwhelming capability. Humanity had rewritten the rules of galactic interaction, not through conquest, not through aggression, but through a demonstration of technological superiority so complete, so overwhelming, that it rendered traditional concepts of warfare obsolete. The galaxy would never be the same again, and humanity was just getting started.